what privilege do I have that you don't have that is based on skin color, not on wealth or socioeconomic status?
The fact that you are sitting here with like little to no education trying to talk to people about white privilege is white privilege.
Tell me one thing I said that's wrong, and don't use an argument from authority.
That's like so.
Make a good argument.
I have a degree.
I'm arguing from authority
I have
because I'm telling you my life experience.
That's not your life experience.
Name
That's a
one-
Really? I'm
One
sorry. Did you live my
thing-
life?
That means nothing.
Did you live my life?
That means that's a
Name one
degree.
thing
You're not smarter than him
that
because you have a
you can't
degree.
do
Just so you know
that
that's
I
a fallacy.
can do.
That's a fallacy.
Name one thing that you can't do that I can do.
I don't know. I can't make a whole fucking dollar.
What? You can't? Why?
Oh my God.
You're trying to tell me in the military women aren't paid the same as men for equal work?
In the military, up until 2 years ago, women weren't even allowed to do most of the jobs that
Answer the
men can do.
question.
Hey my love, so you're welcome back to my channel. It's your girl BB Harry First, and I'm back again for another reaction video. So I bring to you Charlie Kirk's video, and the title of this one is Charlie Kirk shuts down 4 arrogant female college. I repeat, Charlie Kirk shuts down 4 arrogant female college. So guys, this is gonna be very intriguing. It's gonna be very overwhelming. These are 4 arrogant students. These are college, and Charlie Kirk shut them down, right? So without further ado, let's get right into this video.
Hi y'all. So before I ask my question, I want to clarify a point that y'all mentioned earlier. You said you don't believe in white privilege, correct?
Yeah, it's a myth. It doesn't exist.
Okay. So according to the Bureau of Prison Statistics from last month, 38.3% of our current inmate population is black. But according to the 2020 census data, only 12.2% of our national population is black. So if you don't believe in white privilege, how do you explain this disparity?
So why are they in jail?
It has been this way for years, since the 90s.
No,
since
why do people go to jail?
Why are black people in jail at higher rates than white people?
That's the question, right? Maybe because they
Yes.
commit more crimes than white people.
But that's not true.
They do. So every independent analysis shows that blacks have committed a disproportionate amount of crime. No one wants to say it out loud, but it's true. In fact, in New York, 52% of murders are committed by blacks, 40+% of arson, 60+% of drug deals. And so the question you should really be asking is what drives them to commit crimes? That's the question, right? The real question is, and maybe I can ask you, what percentage of blacks are raised with 2 parents in the home?
So actually, according to the Uniform Crime Report for 2019, black or African American individuals committed only about 1 million crimes, while white people committed about 4 million crimes.
But that's
hold on.
proportion.
Yeah, how about the proportion?
There's a lot more white people than black people in the United States.
It's a 60% white country and a 14% black country. So you just proved my point. You literally, so basically that's a disproportionate amount of crime. It is.
But listen, I want to say, look, you are coming up here and you're asking the question, and that's not easy to do, first and foremost, no matter what. And I really appreciate your question in front of all these people. It's hard. So thank you for asking your question. But let me point out what you just did, and you didn't know that you did it. You switched from proportion to raw numbers.
That's right.
And you did that to make a point that you thought you were making, but you weren't. But look, your issue was that Black Americans only make up 13% of the population, and yet they make up, I think you said, like 38% of the prison population. And then you switched to raw numbers because, so black people only make up 13% of the population, but they commit 40% of all homicides and 60% of all violent crime. Unfortunately, I don't think that's anything inherent in black Americans. That's not what I'm saying. That's just the fact. And what Charlie is saying is, look, we've got to look at why that is. So you're claiming that that disparity is inherent proof of discrimination. So would you also say the fact that there are fewer Asians in jail means that than white people, that there is discrimination against white people? No. Disparity isn't proof of discrimination is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So let me just throw, and Allie's exactly right. What percentage of blacks grow up with 2 parents in the home?
I don't know.
Yeah, less than 20%. That's why there's so many blacks committing crimes and they're in jail. It's that simple. The death of the black family is why blacks are in jail higher than their population percentage. It's that simple.
May I see your criminology degree? Do you have one?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Wait.
we've gotta, are you a
We gotta argue
biologist,
from an
Ketanji
expert.
Brown Jackson?
No, let me ask you a question. So do I need a criminology degree to be able to understand that 75% of blacks don't grow up with two parents?
To be well versed in it, I believe so.
Okay.
Do you have one?
I don't, but I'm studying it.
Okay,
right
but
now.
you
Oh, she studied it.
But you did the same thing. You looked at a statistic, and he did the same thing. You
Look,
don't have a criminology
Have you
degree,
even taken
neither
the
does he.
criminology course? Have y'all
Hold on
taken
a second. You're doing an argument from authority, okay?
It's a fallacy.
So the laws of physics don't change whether or not you're a physicist. The law of thermodynamics doesn't change whether or not you take a course on it. Answer the question. Why do blacks have a broken family versus a nuclear family, and does that translate to higher rates of crime? Do you admit that?
Why is it that blacks don't have parents, though? Why?
Good question. We subsidize single motherhood in this country through the federal government of the United States. Great question. Now we're getting somewhere. Back in the 1960s, we put forward a program where black women married the government and broke up with the men they were with. Welfare state, Lyndon Baines Johnson, and that has contributed to blacks committing more crimes.
I believe institutionalized racism is your answer, but I don't believe I'm getting anywhere with y'all.
But no, just let me point something out. Did you know that it's not white Americans that have the lowest incarceration rate or the lowest rates of crime or the highest graduation rates or the highest median income? It's not white Americans. It's Asian Americans. They have the highest median income. They have the highest graduation rates. They have the most degrees. They have the lowest incarceration rates. And guess what? They also have the lowest single parenthood rates. Okay? So that is true across the board. It's not just black Americans. And unless you're willing to say that the reason why Asian Americans make more than white Americans, or the reason why Asian Americans go to jail less than white Americans, is because there is systemic institutional racism against white people in this country, then your argument against black people doesn't really work.
So let me ask you one thing. You said institutional racism. I got a black friend right up here. He's great. He's great. So let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. What can I do that he can't do?
It's nothing.
What do you mean?
If institutional racism was real, what can I do that he can't do?
Well, you're less likely to get arrested.
I'm sorry. No, if we both commit a crime, he's going to get arrested and I'm not?
He could.
Wait, so we just went through this. Blacks commit a disproportionate amount of crime in this country because of broken families. So give me one law on the books. You said it's institutional. Give me a law anywhere that discriminates against blacks. Give me one law anywhere in America.
You want current or past?
How about right now?
Well, the fact that crack cocaine is criminalized more than regular cocaine.
No. If I deal crack cocaine, I'm getting arrested regardless of skin color. Give me a law.
White cocaine,
Give me a law anywhere that allows white people to commit crimes and get away with it, and blacks can't. Does that law exist?
Not anymore. But
because there's no institutional racism in America. The idea of institutional racism is laws on the books.
Just because it's not down on paper doesn't mean it's not real.
Okay, give us an example. Not just a disparity. Not just a disparity.
God isn't. You don't see God.
He's on paper. Read the Bible.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm getting nowhere with y'all, and y'all are not answering my questions, so I'm going to end this Q&A right here. Thank you for your time.
Okay. We actually did answer her questions, but I do appreciate, even though she's got an attitude, I do appreciate her courage. I do. That is difficult. That's difficult to come up here and ask a question, but you can also do it respectfully.
But what bothered me about her, I'm glad she was there. She wasn't being honest. At least be honest, okay? And be willing to be correct.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'll start off with my credentials since apparently they matter.
Oh, they definitely don't matter.
I'm an 8-year military veteran. I'm a college student. I'm a black woman. And I believe that white privilege fucking exists. So we're going to start with that.
Thank you for your service.
And the reason why white privilege exists is because you guys refuse to acknowledge the history that put people in this position. You want to tell me that white privilege doesn't exist when white people had a fucking upper hand for 250 years to develop generational wealth, and that black people didn't get the right to fucking vote until the 60s, and you're going to tell me that white privilege doesn't exist?
So
That sounds like it
first of all-
exists
Funny about
because you
that is
guys
black-
got the upper
I know
hand.
What's funny about that is blacks were doing better during
Why
that
do we
time.
always call people
no,
blacks?
because you
you
I'm
did.
black.
Can we just be black people? Can we just be like African Americans or something? Why are we
The
just
black
blacks?
community, how would you like it said? What makes you feel better on the inside?
Really, anything else other than what you're saying?
I'll say how you want
Anything
it.
else
I'll package
other
it
than-
how you need it. Tell me what makes you feel good.
Literally anything else other than what you're saying.
Okay,
But please
anything
finish
else?
your point.
Why is that anything else, right? During
All right.
in the Jim Crow era, blacks were doing better. Economically, we're outpacing whites under the Jim Crow era than we were doing.
Let's
Than we are
see.
doing.
It
I'm not
probably
done.
has
Than
to
we are
do
doing
with the
today
fact that
after
we had our own
$22 trillion
communities
of government
before the
handouts.
fucking
The black
KKK
community,
came and burned
they
them
came
down.
in. So after $22 trillion of government handouts and a black president
After how many
for
years of
8 years, the
slavery
black community
and
is worse
44
off
white
today than we
presidents,
were in the Jim
44
Crow era. How
white
is
male
that possible?
presidents,
Oh, I know,
97%
because they sold you your
white male
oppression and you
Congress.
bought it. So you're actually the reason why people like us can't do well, because they sold you our oppression and you bought it. Blacks were doing better under the Jim
If
Crow
you
era.
acknowledge the oppression of other people, we can heal from it.
No, we
but if you
can't.
want
No,
to
we
ignore
can't.
it, we won't
can't.
have anything happen.
That's not how this works. Dialogue and acknowledging things doesn't make us suddenly rich.
So there's a question I do want to ask, which I can't seem to get an answer. What can she not do in America that a white person can do? What opportunity? You served in the military. You've made good choices. You're getting rewarded for them. You're going to live in the American middle class. What privilege do I have
You don't have.
that you don't have that is based on skin color, not on wealth or socioeconomic status? Please.
The fact that you are sitting here with like little to no education trying to talk to people about white privilege is white privilege.
That's such a
Tell me
liberal.
one thing I said that's wrong, and don't use an argument from authority.
That's like so.
An
it's a
argument
Make a
fallacy.
good
from authority.
argument.
I have a degree.
Don't
I'm
cite
arguing
your
from
credentials.
authority
I have
because
a
I'm telling
degree.
you my life experience.
That's not your life experience.
Name
That's a
one-
degree.
Really? I'm
One
sorry. Did you live my
thing-
life?
That means
Did
nothing.
you live my life?
That means that's a
Name one
degree.
thing
You're not smarter than
that
him
you
because you have a
can't do
degree. Just so you know
that
that.
I
That's a
can
fallacy.
do.
That's a fallacy.
Name one thing that you can't do that I can do.
I don't know. I can't make a whole fucking dollar.
What? You can't? Why?
Oh my God.
You're trying to tell me in the military women aren't paid the same as men for equal work?
In the military, up until 2 years ago, women weren't even allowed to do most of the jobs that
Answer
men
the
can
question. You just said you couldn't make a dollar.
do. A bullshit wage, but we're not going
All
to
right,
talk
guys,
about
so
that.
now we're moving
Yeah,
over
let's
to
talk
now
about.
we're moving
That
on
is
to
No,
nothing
let's
to
talk
do
about
with
for a
skin
second
color.
that you want to say that
What-
everyone in the military
What can I not
paid a
do?
shitty
It's a
wage.
feminist
So
lie,
that makes it
radical
right.
feminist lie, and they also sell. There's so many different ways they sell you your oppression, and she has purchased all of them today. So right now we are on sexism, right? So she's saying that I can't make a full dollar. Yes, you can. If women stop
Take
going
a lie.
in,
I bet he got
I'm not
paid
done
more to be
speaking.
here than
I'm not
you
done
did.
Speaking, okay. If women stop going into career fields like fashion and Vogue and journalism,
psychology.
and we start going into fields like
Engineering.
engineering
Business.
and hard academics,
Finance.
we will make the exact same money that
If
men
not more.
make. The wage gap is a myth and
a
a
myth.
lie. It's a myth
Amen.
and a lie, okay?
Can I say?
It's actually a myth and a lie. I understand that you need to be oppressed, but you have just heard from two black people that haven't purchased their oppression from the Democrat Party. Respect.
And what frustrates me is you served our country, which deserves to be applauded. And you have lived a life of a victor, and you have the gumption to tell me you're a victim without evidence. You were not able to cite one thing that you cannot do that I can do. If you make good choices, you will get those choices rewarded.
True.
And you brought zero evidence except an argument from an authority and an insult to my lack of a college degree, of which I am so proud of because I'm not indoctrinated because I didn't go to college. Thank you very much. For the next person.
Candace, you have an amazing story. I'm Candace Owens' #1 fan, by the way. I think she's going to be instrumental in helping turn around the black community away from the Democrat Party. And how do you describe the Democrat Party? You say your personal journey away from.
I call it I 100% call it a plantation. I think that and once upon a time they were enslaving our bodies. Today they have successfully enslaved our minds. And you see that because there's such vitriol and hate when we're just talking about different ideas. There's no reason. I haven't come up here and said anything that is going to negatively impact a black person in this room. I never say anything that's going to negatively impact a white person in this room. And yet you see that we have people over here that are shouting. I haven't said anything yet. What have I said that my presence has offended you so much? That to me is an example of ideological slavery. You're afraid of it. That's it. You're afraid of different ideas. I said you're acting uneducated.
That's the problem. Are you serious? You said you haven't said anything to offend anyone, but yet you repeated yourself over and over. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. You guys are so uneducated. Wow.
Well, that's what you just said to her proves my point. It's a lack of education.
Let me say one thing. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
Shows her arrogance.
All right, I have 45 seconds to a minute if this is going to work out. I want to say that you are hearing from people that are very frustrated. They are oppressed and they are very, very tired. You're hearing from people who are emotionally exhausted. And you are coming from a place of privilege. I don't expect you to have the same perception as they do, but you need to hear what they are saying. And from your language, you want to argue. And that is really unfortunate because these people care. And
So what does your sign say, by the way?
The alt-right threaten lives and kills.
So it's somehow me that wants to argue, and you say I threaten lives and kills?
Wait, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
No, I mean, I'm asking, you're saying I'm the one that's here to argue, and you're wearing a sign that says Charlie Kirk threatens lives and kills. And I'm the one provoking disagreement.
It's not an argument, it's a statement. Also,
No, you accuse me of wanting to argue with people, and I'm saying you're the one wearing a sign accusing me of threatening lives and
I've been
killing.
sitting there this whole time listening to you. I have not been the one that has been calling out. I ask that you give me the opportunity to listen to me as I have listened to you.
I asked you a question. So go ahead. You got the floor.
Thank you. I will say this. I will say that you use the name of God and God is not with you and you are a false prophet. And to those that your influence, you are an oppressor. Your influence was meant to be destroyed. And so therefore I ask everyone to fulfill their destiny and give them hell.
Shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. My only question is to ask you to leave.
Wow. That escalated quickly. Jeez. Woo. It went from like you're arguing with people to like full like Jeremiah 14:11, like I shall wrath upon thee that disagree with me. So whoa. So that happened quick. Holy.
So you guys, I have a lot to say. This was Charlie, and a very big kudos to Charlie. But before then, I want to say that this video was very intriguing. It was intriguing. You know, when we say something is intriguing, it was very overwhelming, and I don't want to stop. I just want to keep listening to each of those 4 college students, in as much as they were just talking trash. But then it's something to just listen to, because when you listen to people like this, you tend to know the mindset the society operates in, right? Now, the lady that talked about prison, she talked about black people in the prison. That lady is very wrong. That lady was very, very wrong. Now, I want to say this, that every one of us, we are equal. Every one of us here, we are equal. And people keep talking about white supremacy, white privilege. She talked about black people in the prison and the rest of it. That if you go to the prison, there are a lot of black people in the prison, and she keeps making it look like her point of view was concentrating more on the black people aren't treated fairly. Probably they were being treated in an unjust manner. I really don't know, but she keeps pondering about the black people in the prison, and she keeps hammering that the white supremacy still exists. She said black people are always being jailed and the rest of it. Now, this is because black people, I am a black and I'm not here to come and take side, but the truth is that black people have more of single parenting. Black people embrace single parenting a lot, and funny enough, the government has subsidized single parenting, so it's very rampant for the black people, and they're not really family oriented. I think I've said this countless times on my previous videos that black people embrace single parenting all the time, and that is why when you go to the prison you see a lot of black people, right? Now, I just think that black people should stop enslaving themselves with the wrong mentality. The more we keep feeding ourselves with the wrong mentality, we keep feeding our brains, feeding our minds, our souls with the wrong mentality. We'll never go far in life. anything that happened, the black mentality would come up with this narrative that, oh, that they were being treated unfair, and their forefathers were being enslaved 150 years ago, and that that slavery mentality still eating deep into the fabric of our black people, and I don't think it's really nice at all. Now let's talk about the second lady in question. Now the second lady was so arrogant, like she was very, very, oh my god, she was very, very arrogant, and at a point she walked away and came back, and she didn't even allow Candice Owen to speak. Like at a point it looked as if they were just both debating. Candice Owens was talking, she was talking. At some point I wasn't even able to comprehend their conversation. She was just so rude, and she wasn't even giving chance for the host to portray her point. Now that second lady in question, funny enough, she's a military personnel, she's a military staff, and there was one thing that struck me, and everybody screamed, and she keeps saying that single parent, no, she talked about she hasn't been able to, she can't even make a dollar, and I'm like, does this supposed to come out from a grown adult, someone working in the military, and you open your mouth and say you can't even make a dollar? This is a big lie, and I don't know, it really looked ridiculous. You open your mouth and say you cannot make a dollar. Everything she said there was, she's lying, obviously, because even a 5 years old a 5 years old child can make a dollar, and she opened her mouth and say that. The funny thing is that she's a military personnel, and most times I wonder the kind of mentality they have. To serve in the military is not a joke. Do you know what it means to be a military personnel or a military staff, or to work in the military? It's not a joke, but everything that everything that she was spilling out of her mouth was just error. Her mentality is just nothing to write home about, honestly. And now I really don't even know how to describe her. I honestly don't know how to describe her. Like, it's just not nice at all for a grown-up person to open her mouth and say that she cannot even make a dollar. That's a lie. Then what impression are you trying to create? That you're being oppressed by the whites, and that the white privilege or the white supremacy exists, and the rest of it. So honestly, I really don't know how Charlie and Candice Owen, I don't know how they try as much as they can to handle this set of people, because here you go, these ladies that came here on stage, all of them are very arrogant. They are very rude, and they are very, very arrogant. Now there's something I observe about the black people in America. Like, black people, it's very obvious that they hate Candice Owen, because they don't just want to accept the truth. The black people don't want to accept the truth, and Candice Owen is someone that would always come out and spill the truth, and they hate her for that, right? Now let's talk about abortion, the rate of abortion in America. If you check the statistics, you will notice that black people are actually the one that embrace abortion, and it's wrong, and they keep embracing it. Most of all those black people, African black people over there, they are the one who embrace single parenting. A lot of black people, a lot of them are being, if you check their background, if you check their family setting, you discover that it's nothing to write home about. They are lacking family orientation. I don't know how to put it. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to break it down for us to be able to assimilate. Black people has a lot of loopholes they need to fix. When we talk about the rate of abortion, it's really rampant, and the black people are actually the one practicing it. And now that the government has subsidized single parenting, I don't know where we are headed, right? And single parenting, if you check, even here in Africa, a lot of black people are baby mamas. They don't take hold of themselves. They don't take responsibilities of their action. They just live their life anyhow, and at the end of the day, they mix up and funny enough, the society would suffer from their mess, just like we all know that charity begins at home. So if your home is not well fixed, it affects the society in a negative way. Now let's talk about Asian. You guys, Asian are one people I really admire so much. Now Asians are very different. You hardly hear Asian come out and spew nonsense. Their sense of reasoning is top notch, and they are one of the most successful in America. Trust me, they migrated from their country just like other people, black people migrated to America. But when you look at Asia, statistics shows that Asia is one of the most successful people. They are one of the most successful people in America, and they are really doing well. They are family oriented. Their standard are top notch. They are very, very organized, and they don't go about causing nuisance in the society. Honestly, Asian people are one people they really need to have their accolade, because it's one thing to I really don't know how to put it, but Asia is what they're very focused. You know, when someone is focused and they actually know what they want, target on Asian people. When we talk about family oriented, Asian people are there. When you talk about standard, placing values, virtues, and the rest of it, and one of the most hardworking and successful people in America, it's Asia. So now I don't know why this narrative of the white supremacy and the white privilege. I don't know. The thing is that black people like to dwell in their past. They keep dwelling based on the fact that their forefathers have been enslaved 150 years ago, and they keep dwelling on the past. And the funniest thing is that most of them weren't even born. They just came into the world and they read history and they discovered that, oh, black people were being enslaved, and then they continue to leverage on that mentality of black people were being enslaved, and they started having the wrong mindset, and that is why most of them are not progressive, and the rest of it. Now, there was a woman who came here saying Charlie kills, Charlie destroys lives. See, I don't have much to say, but I need to clear this. And Charlie is one person that I so much acknowledge, and that is one of the reasons why I keep reacting to his video, because his videos are very, very educative. And now this lady came to blaspheme. She came to tarnish Charlie's image and reputation, saying that Charlie has killed and destroyed a lot of life, condemning Charlie Kirk. Anyway, that's her own business. So I really have a lot to say, but I think I'm gonna leave it here because I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, do well to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and if you're new here, you're welcome to my channel. Yeah, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. If you have something to say, please be fair and be nice in the comment section below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.